Oh, beautiful. All right, here we go, guys. Welcome, everybody. Welcome to Avini Vibes. My name is Christine Rolando from Work, New York, and I'm so blessed to be here tonight. It's April 10th, 2025. I'm your host, and my gracious co-host is with us, but she's not going to be on camera tonight. Carol Witt, couldn't do it without her. Carol, blessings to you and your family. We know that Carol's visiting her brother, and I don't know if you've ever come to this call when we heard testimonials about her brother. Maybe she can go wrangle him and he'll step up later on to share his amazing story. You know, we're all here to share our stories, to educate, to empower one another, and to learn. And please remember, these amazing products and this amazing company do change people's lives. So, for a minute, I just want you to really hear that. We're here because we have amazing products, amazing leadership, and a company and you that change people's lives. You've been called to this business, is my heart's belief. We're not here by mistake. We're here because we've been open. We've been open in our hearts and our spirit to listen, and many of you may have been, open to different natural healing and whatever that might be, but I'm blessed to have you with us tonight. And we're going to just explore this. And we're very, very grateful tonight for somebody that I know about January 13th, 2002, 2.5 years, Allan Way. And you're going to hear his story just in a moment. But what we're going to do is do we have any guests here? You can raise your hand if you're a guest. Thanks for being here. The person that invited you really cares about you, and they thought enough about you to invite you tonight to Avini Vibes. But again, no medical claims. We don't diagnose or treat, but we're here to share, and that's why we're going to join us tonight. Press your mute if you would, and then we are recording. Press your mute, and if you have a question, just go ahead and raise your hands when you're ready to ask Alan a question. All right, so with that, I want to first start with Eddie Kowalski. Eddie Kowalski is a blessing in my life. Know him 30 something years, got to be 35 years, my sponsor in Avini, and he cared enough about me to share this with me. So, Eddie, if you don't mind, you can share a little bit about our products. The floor is yours.
Okay. All right. You guys hear me okay? Thank you,
Yep.
Christine. Yeah, and you've been a blessing in my life as well. And I'm so happy to just be able to share this with everyone. I'm going to zip through these as fast as I can. Last time Christine gave me like 30 seconds to go through 12 products. I need a little more time, but I'll do the best I can. So I'm going to start with our cell defender. That is the tip of the spear. And it is something that you cannot find anywhere else on the planet. It's the only activated micronized zeolite in the world. And our guy, Rik Deitsch, our biochemist, is the category creator of that. And what it does, it goes in the body and it is basically nature's filter. It was from lava and ash through volcanic eruptions that had salt water, and it sat on the beach. And Rik was able to break this rock down, put it into drops, put it in our body. And then when it goes in our body, it is attracted to heavy metals, which is that and environmental toxins. Those two things create most disease that mankind can see. The World Health Organization said that. And so it gets attracted to heavy metals, it sucks them in the cages, and they're urinated out. That's it. And that's what our zeolite does, but it's zeolite clinoptilolite detoxolite. Rik branded it. Nobody else has what we have. It's a clean cage, goes in, sucks out heavy metals. So with that, you've got then our second punch is nano silver. And nano silver is a spherical silver. It's better than colloidal. It's better than ionic because it's spherical in nature. It's surrounded by oxygen. And when it goes into the body, it targets the live things in our body. So you're looking at the parasites, the yeast, the mold, the bacteria, all those things that are alive in the body. The nano takes care of that part. So when you've got those two things happening, we've got a combination that just takes care of everything. And so nano silver, it lights up the bad guys, the things that are alive. And example,
I don't think that's the truth.
if you have a parasite in your body, the nano goes in there, finds it, kills it. So the live things are dead, the dead things, the bad heavy metals are dead. Now back to the cell defender. Cell defender doesn't touch the good heavy metals. The potassium, the calcium, the magnesium, all those things are left alone, and they thrive because they're impeded by the bad metals. So now they can increase. So it makes way for the good. Then we have our Z immunity mushrooms. That is something that is amazing because you have 7 organically grown non-GMO medicinal mushrooms that are fighting to live and survive. And these mushrooms, when they grow and they fight to survive, they go now. Rik designed it to go into the body to help our body fight to survive. So you've got cordyceps, turkey tail, all the different mushrooms. You can't find this combination anywhere on the planet. Everything we have is unique to Avini. Nobody has what we have. And so you got the mushrooms, which has a zeolite in it, which the Cell Defender has. You've got the, obviously Cell Defender is strictly zeolite, clinotilolite. Nano doesn't have zeolite in it, but it has a specific function. Plus fiber. Take the plus fiber, that goes into the gut. The gut health is critically important. That's the second brain. So when our fiber gets into your gut, what it does, it gently goes into the intestines and it scrapes through and it takes out the things that you can't get out otherwise. And what happens is when it takes out those things from the gut, then that fat layer in the body, that's removed and the toxins are let loose in the body, but then they're killed by the nano and the cell defender. So plus fiber lowers blood sugar, which is a critical part in our world right now. Blood sugar, anything to do with, I can't mention the name of the disease, but the fiber goes in and it essentially just, it cleans the gut and it makes the gut work better gut health. The intestines are cleansed. And so the fiber, it's not just to make you go to the bathroom, it's to clean out. And the zeolite is a coarser version of our zeolite. And so that means it can scrape through. It's a vacuum. It sucks out the bad guys. Let's see, what else? We have the plus relief. Allan is a big fan of plus relief. And that because it's immediate. Plus Relief has Asian cobra venom in it, 600 times more powerful than morphine, all natural, cannot hurt you in any way. And so when you put the Plus Relief on, if you do it topically to target certain areas, within 15 to 20 minutes, the pain or the discomfort goes away. If you have something on in throughout your entire body, the spray goes in your body, it finds those areas and it goes and targets those areas. That takes a little bit longer. But the bottom line is it cannot hurt you. It only will go in and find where the relief it needs to take place. So Plus Relief, nobody out there has anything like it. Cobra venom, Asian cobra venom, people get freaked out about that. It's 1/10,000th of Asian cobra venom in it. Can't hurt you, can only help you. Plus mind and vision, clarity. The eye and the mind are connected closely together, gives you better clarity, helps with vision. There are people that are seeing better now because of that. We've got amazing testimonials about the plus mind and vision. The plus energy, Christine played the coach at West Point in tennis, and after she took plus energy, did you beat him? You beat him. Yeah. So she beat him. But he said that
Honestly, I didn't beat him, but listen, he's my coach, but he raised my level, but he did see the difference in my acuity, my eye, and I never missed the ball.
right. So the plus energy is something, again, it's not there's no high or low with it. You don't have a major increase and then a crash. So we have the plus energy. Plus hydration goes in the body, it gets into the tissues. It makes water wetter. Again, back to Chip Littlejohn, plus hydration gets into the tissues. One scoop of, and I have it right here. I have it right here. and I put 1 scoop in this. This, when I drink that, is like drinking 3 bottles of water, and it increases your energy. Neil Roth said that. So I'm going with what Neil said and Chip said, and I'm going with that, because when I drink this, I have so much energy. Gatorade goes in, it goes in your gut, you pee it out, it's gone. It has no effect. Let's see what else we got. Plus Balance, brand new product, hormonal balance for men and women. The thing about the Plus Balance is that it also helps with hair, skin, and nails, kind of like beta carotene, but much better. But it also protects the liver. And then I missed the point with the mushrooms: liver, kidney. Those two things are protected by the mushrooms. Reason that's important to me: I was diagnosed in 2021 with bad liver situation, said I needed a transplant. I said, get me out of here. It was a Mayo, and I knew I just had to clean my body. The bottom line with that, guys, is if you clean your body, everything we have works together, synergistically together, to clean the body. Let's see what else I missed. Trim Science. When you look at the Trim Science, we have our chocolate, coffee, matcha tea, lemonade. Mix that together. It takes away the fat that covers up the toxins. So when you have a layer of fat, it is laying on top of toxins in the body, so they don't get out and wreak havoc in the rest of the body. So it's there. Then when you start breaking that down with the Trim Science, they get out. Then you've got Cell Defender nano mushrooms are there to kill the toxins trying to get out and wreak havoc. So they can't do the damage. They can't do it. And that is something I had a buddy of mine just ordered some today. And I said, when you take it, understand that everything you're taking with that bundle, the Trim Science, Cell Defender, the fiber, and the chocolate coffee, that all together, they all have the zeolite in it. So not only are you losing weight, but you're taking out the heavy metals in your body at the same time. Nobody else has that technology. Nobody has it. What did I miss? Oh, the meal replacement coming. That's something that we have. Should be on the shelves here pretty soon. What else, Christine?
I think you did good, Ed. You touched base on pretty much everything, in a very concise manner. And we only want to do that because if you're a guest, the person who invited you will share the details. The beauty of this, I met with someone today and they said, I never saw a company that's so well organized in what is available as a new distributor as far as education. We have on the back office on Avini Health training, we have everything from a 2-minute video, a 4-minute video on every product, or a master class. So you can dig as deep as you want. We want to just touch base. Eddie, thank you for doing that tonight and sharing. What I want to do next is, in respect of your time, I want to tell you a quick story, and many of you know this. Eddie's my sponsor, but Eddie also called Allan Way and I at the same time. And Allan beat me to the punch because Allan was going to tell you a story. So Allan's number one, I'm number two, and Eddie, front line, I don't know, left, middle, right, whatever. But we're going to share a powerful, powerful story that was recorded from somebody that is such a blessing. Allan Way is such a blessing. He's so kind. He's so passionate. He's blushing, but he really is a man of God and somebody that cares so much about other people. So before we let Allan speak, what I'd like to do is just share a quick video with you that was played at the conference at the summit. So let me see how good I am. I don't have Carol, so I have to figure this out myself. And I'm hoping I can pull it off. Oh, let's see. Where'd it go? Oh, Carol, I had it up and it's not there. So bear with me just a moment and I will get this up and going here. And feel free, Eddie, to keep rambling while I'm fumbling. All right.
Well, I can ramble for a second and just say that the security that we have with putting these products in our body is knowing that you have an army inside of you, that anything that tries to come in, we take in 15 times more environmental toxins and heavy metals per day than our body can handle. And there's no way to get them out except through what we have. That's it. So we have an army fighting on our behalf. Every day, it's fighting to help us take a shower on the inside and clean. We're a cleaning company. And we subtract. We take the bad guys out. We find them, kick them out. Find them, kick them out. They're always coming, but they're up against the best products on the planet, and they don't have a chance.
Can you see it?
That's it.
All right, here we go.
Barbara had gone to our general practitioner. That doctor told Barbara that she needed to go see a nephrologist because her kidneys were going south. So we went to see the nephrologist after blood tests were done. This was January of 23. And that doctor, nephrologist, announced to Barbara that she's in 3rd stage renal failure. And he did not offer any solutions at all. And he didn't change her medicines. He didn't do anything whatsoever. In fact, he just walked out of the room and left it to us. And we figured he wasn't coming back. So we went and checked out of the office and went home. And it was about 3 or 4 days later that Ed called me that night. So that's why I was interested in knowing more about it, because he did start off by telling me that this company had some interesting products. And since the doctor didn't offer us any solution at all, I went on there and signed up and found out that there are some products within our arsenal of products that Avini has that are just fantastic. So I started Barbara on the products in January. We went back to see this doctor in July. I had no idea what the blood test results were going to reveal, but he came in and he had 2 sheets of paper in his hand. And he said to us, he said, I want to read to you from these papers. I had no idea what it was he was going to read. The first one was the blood test results from January. And he went down the line there with the categories and the numbers, and that meant nothing to me. Barbara, having been a nurse, she understood some of them. And then the smile came on his face. He said, now I want to read to you from the July results. And he read the same categories, but different numbers. I did recognize that the numbers were different. And when he was done, he looked at her and he said to her, I want to know what changed. And she just shook her head and sat there. Said, I don't know. And then the doctor came unglued a little bit. He said, you must know, because this is a dramatic reversal from January's blood test. You have to know what happened, because this doesn't happen in life. These numbers don't just change like that without something real big happening. And she threw her thumb over her shoulder because I was sitting behind her. And she said, I don't know. Ask him. He might know. So the doctor turned to me. He said, do you know what happened? I said, absolutely. And I didn't say a word. He said, will you tell me? I said, certainly. And I said, zeolite. Do you know what zeolite is? The wise doctor said, I want you to tell me what you think it is and what you think it does. I said, well, take some notes if you like, because I'm going to open up and tell you about it. And I did. And I told him the name of the products and what they did and why it worked. And I said, that's the only change in her life. Her diet has not changed. Nothing has.
I can't hear him at all, Christine.
Me neither. Or Dr. Nikita.
Christine, can you hear me? You are muted, Christine.
Oh, you can't hear Allan?
Nope,
Nobody could hear Allan?
nope. So
Oh, dear.
I'll tell you what I'll do. I'll pick up from that point
All right.
if you like. Okay, so
Go
when the
ahead, Allan.
doctor, all right, can everybody hear me now?
Yes, sir.
Okay, great. So at the point where it quit, the doctor had asked me if I knew what it was, and of course, I did tell him what it was. It was zeolite, and explained to him just a tiny piece of about how volcanoes erupted and all that good stuff, and gave the doctor that idea of what it was and how and why it works. And when I finished telling him that, he simply said, "Well, whatever you're doing, keep on doing it." And with that, he walked out the door. Well, fast forward to July. Barbara and I went back to see the same doctor in July after the uh, blood tests were done in July. And having read them, he said, "This is a dramatic reversal." Y'all heard that part of it. He said, "I
Go
want to
ahead and
know."
repeat it just in case, because I see they lost sound earlier. So go ahead and repeat that part.
Okay, so the doctor asked me what it was, and I told him what zeolite was, how it worked, and whatnot. Just a Reader's Digest version. Understand that I'd only known a little bit about this for 6 months, and so I explained to him what it did. It went through the body and it took out anything that had a positive chemical charge, because by God's design, when zeolite was created under the salt water, when the magma, the molten rock, comes out of the volcano and gets in salt water, the salt water changes the molecular structure of the rocks, making them porous and giving them a negative chemical charge. So anything that has a positive chemical charge, as these particles go through our bodies, it harnesses them and takes them out of the body. Ed Kwaski did a good job of explaining that. So that's what happened with the doctor, and he didn't offer anything for us even then in July, anything different. Well, I mean, yeah, that was right in July. That was correct. So um, we have wonderful products that will help not only the the kidneys as it did with Barbara, but other parts of our body, the adrenal glands, and just the brain, just all over our body. The zeolite, the clinoptilolite, the cell defender is what is housed in for this particular product discussion. It just goes through and cleans things up. So
Allan, Barbara decided not to take the products for a while, and you had reversal. Is that correct?
yeah, so Barbara,
Elaborate
after
on that.
after taking the products for a number of months, probably a year or more, Barbara said one day, "The I don't think these products are working at all. I don't feel any different. I'm not going to take them anymore. Don't give them to me." And I said, "Well, you won't like the results, but I can do as you say." But so I did not. So we went back to see the doctor. I think it was November, maybe, when we went to see him, and he did her blood test. I read her blood test results, and he said, "You're in third stage renal failure again." So what I said to the good doctor, I said, "It's not your fault." I said, "She told me she didn't want to take the products, so she's not gotten them. So I will tell you, she'll start on the products today. And then next time you see her and her blood test results, she will be back to pristine again." So when we did go back to see him, he saw and he was amazed that again, he had seen it for the second time. So anyway, I don't know what to say about that, Christine.
So, Allan, tell our listeners what type of products you were giving her. What was she receiving? The
So
cell defender?
she was on Cell Defender, and she was on the Z Immunity mushrooms for much of that time, just those two. And then later we introduced literally everything that we have. She takes the fiber occasionally, not often. She does not do the trim science, but she's on the balance, and she's on the plus cardio care, and she's on the plus mind and vision. And so Avini has a good box coming to me once a month, and sometimes other times during the month as well, like most of us. So that's kind of the end of that story, unless you have a question for me on that,
Well,
Christine.
I guess the question is, or not the question, or more or less the comment is that when Barbara did this, like I think we should have a t-shirt of you pointing over the shoulder, like she pointed over the shoulder to you.
Yeah.
Her body was experiencing it, but you were the caregiver. You were the one that was the impetus of helping her recognize that she needed this. And, so be it, she decided not to, and the proof was in the pudding, which sometimes we have to share with our loved ones. But I just applaud you for being consistent and right. Everybody give him a thumbs up because you weren't shy with your doctor. I love what Eddie. Unmute yourself for a minute. What do you say, Chip? You say the same thing. How much percentage of more than how much percentage of the world about clinoptilolite, Eddie?
Well, it's funny because I have had conversations with doctors. I took my stepdad to a doctor, and he was sitting there, and he was talking about everything he had to do. And I just asked him. I said, "Do you know what a zeolite is?" He was very humble. He said, "No, I don't." And so what we know, if we just look at the basic explanation that Rik does on our website, and for those of you that are new, look at the website of the person that sends it to you. And if you just see that 5 minute explanation of what we have, you will know more than 95% of the people in the country or in the world about what we have. And it's the only thing on the planet that can do what really everybody wants: prevent disease and sickness, change your life, and save your life. We have people checking out of hospice. I mean, checking out of hospice. And so, when you understand the basics of what we have, you don't have to be an expert. You don't have to be Rik Deitsch, Doug Dickey, all the guys at the top. You don't have to do that. If you can just tell somebody the basics of what we have. I talk to people in another business. They claim they're life-saving company. And when I tell them what we have, the only thing I say to them, you don't have anything that takes out the heavy metals of the body from the body like we do. You don't have it. And they say, well, yeah, we do. No, you don't. You don't have that. We have the only activated micronized zeolite clinoptilolite on the planet. Doesn't exist anywhere else. Anything else is a knockoff. It's going and buying a Louis Vuitton purse for $10. Okay. It doesn't exist other than where we have it. We have it. And so that's the beauty of Rik Deitsch and what he did. 7 years to develop what we have. 7 years he dedicated to putting this together, which saves lives. And so any doctor, I will promise you, they don't study this stuff. They don't know that God made the body to heal itself. They're just wanting to push these. And I'm not trying to knock doctors, but I'm just saying they don't understand that the body needs to be clean. The only thing we are and we do, we are a cleaning company. We're a homeopathic, holistic, natural cleaning company. And our products go in there. They cannot hurt you. They clean you. And a cleaner body, of course, heals itself. That's it.
Amen.
It's
Thank you.
simple.
Would anyone like to
I have a
ask a
quick
question?
question for those two guys. This is me with the hand in the palm trees. Hi guys. I really enjoyed what Ed and Allan said. It sounded awful serious though. And I got to ask you too, because I know there's more to it than that. Have you had any fun doing this at all? That's my question for you two guys.
Go ahead, Allan. I'll finish.
For me, it's almost hilarious fun at times when I see the results. And one of those was yesterday. We had a Bible study meeting. Barbara was not feeling well, so I took my Bible study down to the facility where they were having Golden Corral here in Orange Park, and gave my copies to the facilitator so he could distribute them as he saw fit. And I came back home, and then a little later he called me. He said, "Can you come back down here to the Golden Corral and bring some of that cobra venom stuff?" So I took my business in a box right here, and I went down to the Golden Corral. He said that one of the ladies there had arthritis in her thumb so bad that it was just hurting her badly. And I could see it. And it was at the base of her thumb where her wrist is, where they join, big knot there. So I sat down beside her. I opened up a gel pack of of Plus Relief, and put about 3 drops on her thumb and told her just take your finger and move it around there a little bit. And wherever you feel pain, just rub it in there. And I said, you don't have to actually rub it in. All you have to do is just distribute it, and it will take care of it. And before was done, about 2 minutes, I guess, she said, I feel the pain going away. I said, well, keep on doing what you're doing, and I'll just sit here and wait a minute, and it'll all go away most likely. And in about 5 minutes or so, all of her pain was gone. And she is now she's sold on the idea. I didn't offer to sell her anything. I gave her my website information. She can do what she wants to about that. But the Plus Relief product is our most charismatic product. I love it, and everybody else does too that's experienced the pain relief from it. Mm-hmm. So that's on that particular one. I have other things to say if y'all want to hear it. I can tell you about the what happened with my dog this week.
I want to hear about your dog, but let Eddie go, and then I want to hear his response to Chip's question. Then we're going to go back to Allan, and then if you all have a testimonial or something you want to share, feel free. We'll have a time for that. Eddie, so Chip asked you the question. You having any fun yet?
Yeah, I do real estate 30 years now, and average price of a home down here where I am is 600,000. And I was telling somebody earlier today, if somebody called me and said, my dad has stage 4, this or that, and then at the same time a call came in and said, I want to go look at a $600,000 house, I'll promise you, the first thing that I would do is talk to that person that had that issue, because my passion and the love and the inspiration that I have is from getting phone calls from people that get better and their lives are changed. I can change lives with real estate. I can have somebody go out there and a new couple just bought a house. That's great. It makes me feel good. But the calls that I do with Allan and Doc and Wayne, we stayed up sometimes till 2 a.m. because when you find people that are going in the same direction and their whole goal is to prevent something from happening, change a life or save a life, you can't replace that with anything that you do. I mean, there's nothing better than that. When you get, okay, I have a prostate problem, it's solved. I got this, it's solved. We don't cure anything, but we give them the means to take care of stuff. So the fun part is sitting up at 2 a.m, Allan, me, Doc, some of his team, that we call them the boys, the hillbillies. And next thing you know, it's 2 a.m. We're talking about how we can save lives. Is that fun? Yeah, man. I mean, that gives me chills. And so if you're inspired to do something like that, what we have is the best thing on the planet. I wouldn't do this if we didn't have the best thing in the world to offer people. I wouldn't do it. But there's nothing that can touch what we have. So that gives me the confidence to say, I don't care who you are. I don't care if you're a doctor, a scientist, a biochemist. I don't care who you are or what you do. I don't care if you make $10 billion a year. Doesn't matter to me. We have something that you need, and it can help you because everybody's human and the body gets dirty. We're here to clean the body and get you healthy and have you live a longer life and perform at peak performance, right? Be the best version of yourself. That's what we've got. And that excites me. And so, yeah, the fun part is getting the phone calls. Like Rich Cotter said, man, you get paid in chill bumps, goosebumps when somebody calls you and says, hey, guess what? You're not going to believe this. Yeah, I know I will. Just tell me the story. And so that's the fun part for me, is working with people that have the same objective and just want to bless people with something that they don't have any idea about. And we introduce it, and we just try to change the world. And we are one person at a time. And last thing, everything that we do is built on a story. Every story turns into another story. And so when you have that in your back pocket, this doesn't need to be on shelves. It needs to be a story. Christine has a story. I have a story. Allan, everybody's got a story to tell. And then when you can, I'll tell you, I truly believe that we are the best company in the world to change the health of everybody on the planet, not just here. We opened the UK. We got everything right here. The world is our oyster. All we got to do is open our mouth and just let them know about it. Share it. If they decide to do it, fine. If they don't, fine. But the fun part is seeing the results. Just try it. I mean, I love it. I'm in it to win it. I told Christine when I called her, I said, Christine, you don't have to do this, but you have to do this. And she said, okay, I'm in it. And then she called me that night or 2 days later and said, I'm vacuuming my house at 1 o'clock in the morning. Well, what is in this stuff? Is it got speed in it? And I said, no, it's cleaning your body. And so it's fun, guys. I love this family. I love all of you. Chip, thanks for being always the anchor. And Allan, great job. Christine, as always, you and Carol, you kind of hold this thing down. So thank you guys. Love y'all.
Yeah, so Eddie, that's it. That's the bottom line. It's all about us being bold like Eddie. That's what you got to do. You got to take that fire inside your heart, inside your bones. You know, I talked to Neil yesterday, Neil's Roth, our CEO. He's such a great leader. He's such a passionate leader, and he's a very smart leader, which I have to thank Chip because I had something that was I needed to nip in the butt, and right there, boom, everybody handles everything in the most positive, professional way, and that's what it's about. Allan, what I'd like you to do, we're going to close this out in a moment. Allan, you got a couple of minutes, share your dog story. And if anybody has a question for Allan or you have a testimonial, we have a few more minutes. Just go ahead and raise your hand and we'll unmute you. But Allan, we want to hear about your dog. What's going on with your dog? Thank you, Eddie. Allan, you're up.
All right, thank you. Marshall is my dog. I got him when he was 7 weeks old. He's a boxer, a purebred boxer, and he's now 95 pounds and almost 6 years old. And a few days ago, we had relatives here visiting, and Marshall came in from the outside, and he just threw up in the foyer twice in there, and once or twice in the den. I think in the edge of the kitchen too. He just throwing up everywhere. And of course, we got that cleaned up, and he was very listless. He was not feeling well, I could tell. So I went to my business in a box right here and got my cell defender for pets, and I got a nano silver gel pack. So I called Marshall over to me, and I put my thumb in his mouth and bent his jaw down, and he opened real wide, and I put the nano silver in there, and then I put the plus relief for pets in there too. And of the gel pack, it wasn't really for pets, just plus. I'm saying it wrong. Excuse me. The nano silver is what I'm trying to say. But anyway, I put it in the cell defender and nano silver. Put it in there, closed his mouth, and held it until I knew that he had swallowed it. And he went and laid down. And then about 20 minutes later or so, he was up, walking around, starting to get a little frisky and happy. And it was just like a transformation. That's as close to the truth as I can tell you because I can't remember all the details of exactly how it worked, but that was it. 20 minutes and he was done. So our products work. That's the foundation of our company has to be that our products work and that the company will do what they say they will do. And those are intact. We see it all the time with what we have here. So I'm very praiseworthy of who we have as our leadership. Chip Littlejohn is our closest one to the top here and with us regularly. And we really appreciate Chip being here too. We have great leadership here. So that's my story for now.
Allan, thank you. I give the plus relief to my dogs every week. Look, you got clapping hands going on there. And, you know, my little 10-year-old Shih Tzu jumped up the stairs today, like jumped, like hopped, like a rabbit. And that's what I thought. I said, wow, look at that. You know, she wasn't moving like that. You know, there's no placebo with animals. That's what's amazing. Anyone like to share or have a testimonial? And Chip, if you get on point here, Chip, you're going to have you close us out. And anyone want to share anything, please raise your hand or unmute. And if not, let me just check the screen. Anybody have a hand up? Thank you for being here. Chip, if you would, please.
Well,
Okay,
I'm going to get,
I see
sorry.
somebody raising their hand. Google Pixel.
Yeah, that's me. I just have a quick question because I have a cat and I'm giving her the Cell Defender and we think she might have arthritis. So I've been giving her the Pet Plus Relief every day. And I'm just wondering, can you give pets a little bit of the fiber? Would that help too?
Actually, the fiber isn't really designed for dogs because they're carnivores, and the fiber is there to help them with their help us with our microbiome. And so maybe something. I'm just thinking if you were going to go dog wise, the two pet products would be really helpful. It would be interesting to me. I don't know about. I think Rik has already said that maybe Plus Balance isn't appropriate for pets. The immunity might be okay, but you should do well with Avini Cell Defender for your dog, I would think. Oh, Z Immunity. Priscilla says Z Immunity, so you can open a Z Immunity capsule and put it in their food, or sometimes they'll just eat it like a treat. I chew them up and eat them like nuts. Allan's bobbing his head. Yes, the boxer said. I don't think that's Allan talking. That's his boxer talking.
I've given this immunity to all my animals, and I have one that shakes a lot. Thunder, she has tremors, so this immunity has helped tremendously. I break it up because she's only 10 pounds. I just put like a half a capsule in there, and I've been doing that for about 18 months. So she's still with us. She's doing good, and all her little bumps and growths on her body have subsided. So.
Well, so I do give her the Cell Defender and the two pet products. But so would the immunity be good? It's hard to tell if a cat has arthritis, other than she's not jumping like she used to.
Yeah, that could be a telltale sign. If they're not jumping like they are, they could very well. How old is she?
She's 13.
Yeah, so good chance. Yeah.
She's gained a lot of weight. That's why I'm a little concerned. Yeah.
We can't put her on the trim science, but yeah, you could try this immunity, which I've done with both my dogs and my cats. And just go slow. We always say low and slow, but keep them on the Cell Defender and keep them on the Plus Relief for sure.
Is
Thank
it
you
too
for your-
much to increase it, Christine?
What's that?
Instead of just once a day that she might be giving it, give her twice a day?
You could. I've done it. I've done it when I've had issues with them. So, just always low and slow, but you might want to try that. That's a good recommendation, Pat.
Okay, thank you.
All right, thanks where are you from?
I'm from California.
Well, thanks for joining us tonight. And we appreciate you being here. Chip, we're gonna no other questions, so please would you close us out? Oh, what exactly was Allan's wife taking and how much? Allan?
Cell Defender twice a day to start with, 10 drops at a time back in those days. Now she gets a lot more and a lot more frequently. And Z Immunity mushrooms were the ones that we were taking at that time that was done. And then later it evolved into literally everything, almost everything that Avini has because of her other syndromes that are becoming prominent in her life.
Thank you, Allan. All right, good question. Chip, the floor is yours. Feel free to.
One more tiny little lesson for the night. And I've had the good fortune to work with really sharp people all my life, really capable people. And I always like to bring it down to something really simple. And tonight I'm going to lean on Ed again because I had a chance to work with him in the water on Sunday afternoon. And to me, listening in Avini is taking the free speed. Anytime that someone's speaking and you're listening, that's free speed. In the water, and we were working on swimming, Ed and I together. And the very first thing I always teach, and I was a special forces team leader, and I was the best when I was in the water. And I always teach people glide, push off and glide. That's the first thing to learn. And so we got to spend a lot of fun in the water. And I just, can you see the connection between listening and gliding? That's the free speed.
Yeah, I literally was doing special forces training. I had no idea. Chip comes into the kitchen and says, "You want to get wet?" And, of course, Rik has his pool, and I'm like, sure, what are we doing? I'm thinking I'm going to get in the pool and watch him do his thing, but he straps on these homemade fins, and I was like a mermaid, and he says, watch this. He goes like a swordfish, like, through the water to the other end, comes back through the water. He was like, no, you do it. And I'm like, I have no idea, man. But I just love his passion at 75. This guy is unbelievable. And I don't know, man. I was blown away. I just tried to follow your lead, brother, but I don't think I did very well.
I like the fun part of it, and we definitely have fun whenever we're working together. And I know it's serious for everybody, but when you're winning, and we do expect to win here. So in your language, when you're talking to people, I listen to, I really listened to a pretty powerful message from Allan this evening when he went back to the doc the second time, the nephrologist, and he said, I'm going to come back and the numbers are going to be pristine again. And this is how I'm going to do it. So I want you to expect to see the good numbers again. That is posture. That is power. And no reason you can't do that.
Mm-hmm.
That's it. Better turn it back to Christine.
Thank you, Chip. Did you get Rik to commit for next week?
He's not come home yet, but I got to feel. What I'll do is I'll probably do a text to you and him and me, and he loves you dearly, so I'm sure he'll respond to that.
And we love you, Chip. Thank you. Say hello to Marcy. Listen, everyone, this has been a wonderful night tonight here in Allan's story, Allan's boldness to I think the name of the show, Carol and I always say, what should we call it? I think tonight the name is Posture. Allan took the posture. He was bold enough to share with his doctor in confidence over his shoulder. She said, listen to him. And he asked the doctor, and a wise doctor once said, Allan, you tell me what you know. But thank you for being so bold. Thank you, everyone, for being here tonight at Avini Vibes. We hope you have a blessed night. And also remember, this is a quote. I think Eddie said this. We're a natural holistic cleaning company for the entire body and whole family. Strive for peak performance and help yourself to be the best version. And Chip says, be the best version of what? Your younger self.
Amen.
God bless. Go out and share. Don't be shy. We'll see you all next week. And register for the conferences if you have not already. Good night, everybody.
Thank
Good
you so
night.
much.
Good night, all.
Thank you.
Thank you.
Good night, guys. Thank
Good
you
night.
all.
Thank you. Happy anniversary.
Thank you, everybody. Good night.
Birthday.
Thank you for thinking of us, Priscilla. Good
Of
night.
course. Thank you. Good night.
Good night.